got great defense against forward aggression.
Absolutely. We do see that bunker is down, the missile turret going up. Naama really does not want to lose this game early on, having a complete lockdown defense. The starport is finished, a medevac coming out right now, the more tanks continuing, the siege mode is up, and this Zell Naga watchtower is going to be so key. If Naama can siege tanks up there, he will completely shut down this Protoss.
Oh no, that was what the turret was there for, to try and catch the observer off. He doesn't quite get it, and now he sees everything. MouzNaama is going to try and push out. Actually, no, he's going to go back into his base. The thing with all the barracks, none of them actually have any tech labs, so we don't see any upgrades coming from any of the infantry.
And it looks like Mana is playing as defensively as possible, has the stalkers and the observers in all those mineral patches. Something certainly died very easily there. Mana now continuing to mass up gateway units and getting a lot of immortals. But little does he know, Naama is having a marine-heavy composition.
And loses this marine in the middle of the map. I wonder what Naama is trying to think what to do. Will he be going for an expansion here? He kind of seems like he might want to, the way he's siege tank out here. But I don't know, is he going to be bringing down an SCV? I don't think so, because he's just built another supply depot. And look at the production tab, another medevac is in the making of 4 more Marines.
This is actually very clever mind games by Naama, getting a tech lab at the starport, not making any Banshee. Sieging everything out the front, not taking an expansion. He is gearing everything up for this push, and it looks like these two players will meet in the middle.
And he's got to be careful. One still gets on the shield, it's a nice force field, and this tank is in a great position, and all these units are taking a lot of damage day 9.
And it looks like the original plan of the force fields was to cut those units off, but the siege tanks are now hiding behind them. Mana is in a full-out retreat, but he does have the immortals up. He can pound through those tanks if he gets in a good angle, but Naama being very methodical, trying to inch his way forward.
Now he's going to move back, try to draw these units into the tank fire. This Zealot goes down instantly, and he's going to take no. This Zealot, he's got to be so careful. He moves back once more, and these tanks are slowly moving more forward towards this Vexus.
Huge pressure by Naama, who is ordinarily a long-term game player, going for the short win. Now darting in, there's the scan, he's going before. Siege tanks were not siege, the immortals are darting up, target firing, he does pick off one tank, but the Marines are doing big damage. This one immortal cannot get through, it is stuck. Target fires the immortal, and he takes it out.
And SCV reinforcements are here to help with the tank healing, and now he's trying to push with all these SCVs. It looks like he wants to win this right now, but Mana has great defense.
Oh no, an immortal! He is not working! Go into the battle, immortal! Mana does not have it in the front, and now the bunker is being constructed. This is a terrible situation. No probes are even mining at all.
And now he's going to start losing siege. All the probes have been pulled off now. He's trying to defend this.
And it looks like he's darting forward, picking off the marauders one at a time. This immortal is now joining into the fray, but it cannot get up to those siege tanks, and Naama does hold!
Oh my god, he's holding this, but there are too many Marines, and these medevacs are crucial. They're hitting all these, and he's slowly pushing forward with these bunkers. The tanks behind them, one more push. Can he defend this? Oh, he so can't, and he's not even mining from this Nexus. He's in a pretty bad position.
And it looks like Mana has sacrificed the Nexus. The expansion will fall.
And now he's got this solid containment, and it's going to be extremely hard to break out of this. Even though he has 2 immortals here, these bunkers are going to be so hard to break, especially with all these SCVs that can just continue to repair them. He might even wall him inside his own base.
Yeah, now one thing to note, what's very dangerous about what Naama is doing, he's building a sensor tower outside of his front door, just to make sure that nothing else tries to sneak through. The one thing that's dangerous about Naama's play is look at his mineral count is running very low in his main. Naama has no additional bases. If Mana can hold off long enough, he might be able to counter and win.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a pressure build. Oh no, he's actually going to slowly edge his way into the base. He's got to be careful though, because a couple of tanks don't have range into the base. But Mana has to do something about this, because the longer the game goes on, he's going to run out of minerals in his main. But how is he going to do this? And this could be cool, because all these tanks are unsieged.
Uh-oh, moving forward, the Marines were too far back, getting split up by the force fields. Another key force field cutting these units off at the left side, but there are just too many Marines. Naama has a total stranglehold on this force, but it looks like Mana is still trying to break through. No, he does not break the contain.
And he doesn't break the contain. There are only 3 stalkers left inside the base.
Good game! And that is a very comfortable position for Nama. He comes out to an early 1-0 lead. There are the admins getting him ready for the next map. I think that was a brilliant, brilliant aggressive play by Nama.
The execution of that push was fantastic. Knew exactly that has come from the training grounds. In all the custom games, he's been practicing, ready for this final. He comes in, knows exactly what to do. He had a plan from start to finish and just annihilated Mana. And really, that is going to hurt the nerves of Mana going into the next couple of games. As he said on stage, he was already nervous going into this. And can he hold the nerves and continue and pull out of this?
And that's one thing to note about Nama. In the semifinals against the Korean Pro OGS top, Nama was shaky in game 1, made some poor decisions, and then buckled down and focused and crushed in the next 2 games. And then here he is coming up with a win. So that is a lot of momentum on his side.
The next map we are going to be going into is Scrap Station, which is going to be extremely interesting to see. Are we going to see some Banshee play? Obviously, we've seen a lot of that throughout the entire tournament. There's been a lot of mistakes from Protoss players where they like to go for 4 warp gates and then they get caught off guard by a cloaked Banshee, losing all their probes. And at the same time, how Terran players are that smart, they have a couple of bunkers on the ramp to stop any counterattack, and the Protoss is in trouble. And hopefully, Mana's learned from mistakes of other players throughout this tournament, and we'll probably expect to see some kind of 2 or 3 warp gate into a Robo Bay.
Yeah, you know, this has been a very, very unusual map in this map pool, Scrap Station. One of the rarer played maps, but whenever it does get selected, some very odd strategies. I'm still just so impressed by Nama's selection of strategy in those positions on Lost Temple. Ordinarily, those close positions feel a little uncomfortable for Terran because the Protoss gets the Colossus up. Terran can't really get out and use space very well, so Nama just drilling in with the fast one-base strategy.
And he hits that timing window of where, when someone expands, there's a short window from when minerals are being wasted because you're actually building it to when it starts coming in again, and that window was hit perfectly. He refused Mana from actually mining any resources from there, and brilliant tank placement. The way that he used the bunkers, basically was using them like force fields to keep his tanks from behind and just doing a lot of damage, and there were just too many Marines. The Immortals just annihilated.
Absolutely. Now we are just waiting for the remaining spectators to get in the game. We are your English commentators. I am Day9.
And I am D Apollo.
And we have many, many others in other languages streaming. Yeah, clap for us. Yeah, let's do it.
And Nama actually looked very happy with that win after, really fist pumping that win. And both players wanting to win this, to be crowned DreamHack 1v1 Starcraft 2 tournament champion, taking down that prize pool. Ooh. I'd like that prize pool.
You would like 100,000 kroners?
I would.
And of course, again, that translates to 14,000 US American dollars. And we just need the final player to join into this game. Now, honestly, if you are in Mana's position, what is the sort of build that you're going to be going for?
In Mana's position? Mana.
In the Protoss's position.
In the Protoss position, I'd just try to stay calm. Settle nerves. Playing in front of a crowd like this is very nerve-wracking. I'd stay calm, I'd clean the slate, forget about game 1, and go into this with the head held high, looking to take him down.
And it looks like the players are ready. We are going directly into game 2 between Nama and Mana in the grand finals of the DreamHack Steel Series LAN. There are your competitors from Mouse Sports. And if you would like Mana to win, give a cheer for Mana!
And if you'd like Nama, the Terran player, to win, please make some noise for him!
And here we are with Nama in the north position as the red Terran. In the right spot, we have Mana as the blue Protoss. On this map, we've seen some crazy, crazy strategies, most notably Adele Scott's brilliant Warp Prism harass. But Adele Scott, despite being perhaps one of the most skilled players at this tournament, the nerves got to him. And on the main stage, that is going to be the biggest battle for both of these players.
Definitely Day9, and it's going to be pretty cool to see how these players develop, to see if nerves do hit them. Will they stay calm? Will they stay focused? And I'd probably expect I'd rather like to see a couple of fast expand builds on this map.
Oh yeah.
Got to be careful because the way the natural is set out, it's kind of easy to defend. We've seen OGS Top playing in the earlier stages before he got knocked out. He liked to do one racks into expansion.
Yeah,
and those builds are so good on this map.
And as we're going to see, once the players begin sending out their scout workers, here's the first one for Mana. It is an extremely long path at the start of the game as we head down here. This is the halfway point, this Zel Naga watchtower. But notice that this expansion doesn't have any cliffs behind it. It's far away from the opponent. Not only is it the ground distance, but also the air distance that makes it so easy to defend. The danger is in the middle game when these destructible rocks fall and there's a shortcut to each other's base.
Yeah, and like you were saying with the air distances, because it's such short air distances between bases, Banshees are so viable. And if you look at the back of the bases, there is so much area for drops to come in, for Banshees to come in and kite very easily and retreat without getting cornered at all.
And indeed, there's the first Marine going down. There's Nama's very unusual SCV. The 16th SCV is so unusual. Normally, you always see that orbital command coming out after 15 SCVs, but Nama just wanting that extra little edge.
And now this probe will get chased down. The Marine is about to come out. Will be able to get the kill, though. That would be important to do it. One more hit. He does get the kill, and that's very nice. And now, Mana is actually clean to do whatever he wants.
Looks like the second assimilator is going down in Mana's base. Very key indicator for all strategies when the second refinery goes down. Almost certainly not going to be a one gateway expand for Mana. Nama is an amazing player. He knows all about this, so that is a key scout that he just threw down.
I know, he sees that. And on the other side of the base, we see a factory being put down first before the refinery this time. And that's kind of interesting. He doesn't have any tech labs, only another Marine making on his barracks, and we're not going to see any forward aggression because of what we were saying, how far it is between bases. A bunker is going to come down, which is just a safe precaution because you always can salvage it and get your refund.
And
it's
now
like you take the receipt back, and it's like, okay.
That's true. You can always bring your receipt back to the Terran store and get your 100 minerals. I don't know what that is in kroners, but it's definitely less than 100,000, which is the prize for first. Now, Nama does love Banshee harassment, so no doubt probably planning for something along those lines, but I'm real curious about this one little SCV hanging out by the Automaton 2000.
He is chilling out there, just relaxing and enjoying each other's company before he has to go into the base of the Protoss to find out what is going on, to see if he's going to go for any fast expansion. He should be able to get into the base as well if the Zealot doesn't get any hits, and there we go, this starport is being made in the back of Nama's base along with the tech lab on the factory.
Yeah, so it almost certainly will be some sort of Banshee opening. We do see that there is the robotics facility going down. Mana is doing the safest way to play Protoss versus Terran, getting these two gateways to make a decent amount of units and getting the robotics facility for the very fast observer. Obviously lets him scout, but more importantly, check out the cloaked units, the cloaked Banshees.
And here we go, the starport has been lifted onto the tech lab. Are we going to see a Banshee coming out? The waypoint has been set over to the Protoss base. Are we seeing it? No, not yet.
Wow, opting for cloak before a Banshee, wants to put the pressure on fast. Will this robotics facility be done in time?
I don't know. It looks like it will be done in time, and probably will have enough time to get an observer out too. It's the fact, will he have enough stalkers and anti-air out in time? He's just about finished with warp gates, and will be turning these gateways into warp gates pretty soon. And by the looks of it, looking at the Banshee timing, yes, the observer will be out, and yes, there will be anti-air ready for.
Now it looks like Nama is continuing to scout. He wants to continue to check that expansion, and that is such a big indicator. He does not see any probe. Mana wants to kill off this SCV first. Now notice Mana has so much money. He's up in the 300s, which is a serious amount of cash in StarCraft 2. So he's first going to kill off that SCV, and now he's going to expand. Wants to keep his opponent in the dark.
And I don't know, like, expanding's going to be pretty hard. And oh my god, actually hold that thought, because the observer sees the Banshee at perfect timing, and stalkers are going to be in position to directly counter this. Cloak is almost done. Does he have another observer? It's in the making, and it should be out just in time by the time Cloak is finished.
And now here comes Mana, and oh no, it looks like Nama is waiting until right when Cloak gets finished. It is 3 seconds away, and there it's done. Great timing by Nama, but even better by Mana. He's going to run in there. He's going to take some shots off, and there the Banshee is starting to take some serious hits. Really kill the Banshee. That would be huge, and it falls!
Oh, that is so big.